No place like the Q. Family, this is your favorite queer radio personality, Anna Deshawn, and this is Queer News, your favorite weekly news pod where race and sexuality meet politics, culture, and entertainment. This is your number one stop for queer news done right, only on E3 Radio. Here on this podcast, we will always remember O'Shea Sibley, the 28-year-old dancer who was voguing at the gas station with his friends when they were harassed and then attacked. O'Shea was killed at that gas station in Brooklyn because them voguing to Beyonce's Renaissance somehow offended those men. September 1st was his birthday, and we will never forget. O'Shea. O'Shea. QCrew, what's going on? Thank you for your continued commitment to this podcast. You help me to sustain it. You help to cover the cost of our editor, Ryan, who is celebrating his birthday right now. It's my Virgo brother, okay? This is why we work so well together. We understand each other. So please, family, send Ryan a whole lot of love this week. And I really couldn't do this podcast without you, and so I really can't say thank you enough. And if you're listening to this pod and you enjoy it and you are not a part of the QCrew, consider it, okay? It starts as low as $5 a month. So if you believe LGBTQ stories need to be amplified, if you love and respect how I report on the news and tell our stories, join the QCrew. A link is in the show notes. And family, don't forget, if you've got a local news story not getting enough amplification, if you're a queer org and you want other folks to know about your organization, are you an artist and you got a song coming out, send me a queer news tip. I haven't gotten one in a few weeks. Come on, send me a queer news tip. Let me play your voicemail on the show. I love hearing them, and it keeps everybody informed. Info on how to submit is in the show notes. Now for the news. Our top story this week is about Pope Leo welcoming the LGBTQ plus community, seemingly continuing Pope Francis's work. In politics, Texas state representatives decide to take their state-mandated police escorts to a gay bar. And down in Florida, Floridians are being arrested right now for coloring in the Pulse Memorial Rainbow Crosswalk. Let's talk about it. And in culture and entertainment, beloved social media icon Raymond Harper, aka Roland Ray, passed away at 28 years old. Actress Chloë Grace Moretz and model Kate Harrison got married over the Labor Day weekend, and the Studbudz are still winning. And this time, it's in Vogue, no less. Let's get into it. Our top story for this week sits at the intersections of faith and sexuality. Chicagoan, White Sox fan himself, Pope Leo, on September 1st met with prominent advocates for greater LGBTQ plus inclusion in the Catholic Church, just days before a Holy Year pilgrimage of LGBTQ plus Catholics to the Vatican. Pope Leo spoke to Jesuit author and editor Reverend James Martin about his intentions with this meeting, saying that he, quote, intended to continue Pope Francis's policy of LGBTQ acceptance in the church. Reverend Martin said this, I heard the same message from Pope Leo that I heard from Pope Francis, which is the desire to welcome all people, including LGBTQ people. He goes on to say it was wonderful, it was very consoling and very encouraging, and frankly, a lot of fun. Now, this comes as a welcome change from Pope Leo's past criticisms, of homosexuality that he made back in 2012. Now, of course, the meeting was met with some backlash because there are lots of conservatives who do not believe LGBTQ folks have a place in the Catholic Church. But at the same time, it was celebrated by LGBTQ plus advocates and leaders who identify as Catholic because it means something when your faith draws the circle a little bit wider. The meeting was only 30 minutes, but it was a good sign of Pope Leo continuing Pope Francis's journey to make the Catholic Church a more welcoming place. Now, I remember moderating the Faith and Spirituality panel at World Pride in early June and asking Dr. Miguel Diaz and Marion Duddy Burke this same question, if they believed Pope Leo would be open and welcoming to LGBTQ folks in the Catholic Church. And both of them said they had no reason to believe that he wouldn't, because of where he studied, because of his colleagues, because of the people he worked with, because he's from Chicago, which is an open and affirming place where he did some of his work. They really believed he would have this stance, and it looks like they were right. Pope Leo expressed to Reverend Martin that he continued doing the work, and that was encouraging for him. And so we are encouraged today, Catholics, okay? Y'all out there? I'm sure this is good news. In politics, Texas State Representatives Vinton Jones and Terry Meza went to a Dallas gay bar called the Rose Room to meet with the Stonewall Democrats of Dallas. But they were not alone, family. They had their state-mandated police escorts in tow. Now, if y'all remember, these police escorts are court-ordered after Texas lawmakers fled the state to deny quorum to Republican legislative leaders attempting to redistrict the state. Do you all remember this story? Right. So this is living out in real time. Political journalist Scott Braddock captured the whole event on their X account, posting a photo of the Democratic lawmakers and their mandated police escorts. And he captioned it by saying Vinton Jones and Meza dragged their DPS troopers to a gay bar in Dallas. Now, dragged is a little bit of an exaggeration here, but it was intentional. Those lawmakers and locals are learning the extent of what and how authoritarian local control exists today. And it's wild, okay? The Texas state troopers are there to ensure Democratic lawmakers vote on the redistricting, that they don't leave the state again. That is their whole job. Now, other Texas Democrats have fought back against this, and they are tearing up the agreements they previously signed, and they staged a lock-in on the House floor. Now, Representative Cheryl Cole went to her social media account and talked about how her escort lost her on the trail. He got angry about it and made a scene in front of her constituents on the trail. She said the state trooper threatened her, and said he'd send her to jail if he lost her again. Now, how is that her fault? Other reps, such as Representative Collier, has taken action by suing over the forced police escort requirement. Family, it's fair to call the intentions of the Texas House into question when they would rather police their own lawmakers instead of focusing on actions that could actually make a difference in the communities of their constituents, such as providing flood relief to Texans. Yes? How about that? But we all know MAGA has not been interested in the real issues affecting people. They have systematically pulled funding, dismantled departments, and focused their energies on things like changing the name of the Department of Defense to the Department of War. This is the season we're living in right now. But let me tell you, when I saw this story that those state reps took their escorts to a gay bar, it was worth sharing, okay? Now, a couple of weeks ago, I reported about the Pulse Memorial sidewalk being painted over in the middle of the night on orders from Governor Ron DeSantis with no communication to the general public, right? I also shared how Floridians weren't standing for it, and so they organized a protest and repainted it themselves. The protesters used chalk to color in the mural in all the beautiful rainbow colors. Well, it is chalk, so when it got washed away with the rain or faded, people have been coming back to fill it in. Well, now folks are being arrested for that. Yep, arrested for coloring in the Pulse Memorial sidewalk. Those arrested were released the next day, mind you, because a Florida judge ruled the Highway Patrol had no probable cause to make those arrests. Those who were wrongly arrested are considering legal action against the arresting officers. Florida State Rep Anna Escamani posted on X. She said, "You would think our state has bigger problems to solve, but nope. This is what they've committed public dollars and time towards." It's really baffling, truly. And protesters are not deterred. They are continuing to return to the crosswalk and paint in the rainbow flag and to remember those that were lost that tragic day at the Pulse nightclub. My favorite Floridian, Nadine Smith, the executive director of Equality Florida, said this in a statement. "This cowardly abuse of power carried out under the cover of night is a dangerous escalation of DeSantis' campaign to erase LGBTQ visibility and censor our history. We have endured decades of state-sanctioned discrimination. Like every attack before it, this act is designed to spread fear, dispirit us, and push us back into the shadows." But Nadine goes on to say, "But just as we did in the hours after Pulse, our community will come together, look out for each other, and raise our flags higher. We refuse to be erased. We will not let hate win." And let me tell y'all something. With Nadine Smith in Florida, we do not have to worry that the fight will always be there. The community will always come together if Nadine Smith has anything to do with it. Now I think it's a great time to take a quick break, and when we return, we'll jump into some culture and entertainment. Are you in Chicago? Will you be in Chicago Saturday, October the 4th? If you answered yes to either of those questions, I need you to be at the Purple Tie Affair concert and silent auction, a benefit to raise money for E3 Radio and the Queer News Podcast. We can't do this alone, and we don't want to, and we want to have fun doing it. So come enjoy good music, drag performances, and a fire silent auction in community. Get your tickets at e3radio.fm. See you there.
Mental health coverage is just as important as physical health coverage. In Illinois, mental health parity laws ensure that your coverage for mental health conditions and substance use disorders is not more restrictive than your coverage for physical health conditions. If your health plan has unlimited doctor visits for a condition like hypertension, then it must offer unlimited visits for a condition like depression. Learn more at getcoveredillinois.gov.
Family, imagine this. You're not just checking boxes, you're being rewarded for real, meaningful progress towards your crazy-ass goals. With Focal Point Coaching's 90-day impact program, it's about the results you create. Hit your goals, get your money back for the program. Your next 90 days could change everything. Sign up now at focalpointforyou.com. That's focalpoint, the number 4, the letter U.com. Family, welcome back to the show. For the culture, we have some somber news today. Beloved social media star Raymond Harper, also known as Roland Ray, sadly passed away at the young age of 28, just 2 days before his 29th birthday. His family broke the news via Facebook, and the Zeus Network, the agency Roland Ray worked with, confirmed his passing in a statement they made on their Instagram saying, quote, "Gone way too soon. Rest in peace to the big-hearted, most raw and real friend and Zeus star Raymond Harper, your laughter, your light, and loving spirit will live on forever. Roland Ray, if you never heard of him, executive produced and starred in the Zeus Network reality TV show, Bobby, I Love You Per. Okay. He also made an appearance in another reality show from the network titled The Conversation. And if you are not familiar with the Zeus Network, it's like Bravo meets Love and Hip Hop meets Black queer people. Okay. His rise to fame comes from his time on reality TV, period. Catfish, Divorce Court, and on social media, he was known for creating these viral phrases that have stuck in society's lexicon, such as purr, okay? Now, the circumstances around his death have not been revealed to the public at this time, but my heart goes out to his family, to those who loved him. He showed up as someone who was differently abled in a very public space, and his representation mattered. So Roland Ray, we remember you today. Family, do you hear the wedding bells? That's right. Actress Chloë Grace Moretz and model Kate Harrison wed over the Labor Day weekend in a private ceremony surrounded by friends and family. While it had been rumored that the couple has been together since 2018, Chloë first confirmed their relationship to their fans via Instagram back in 2023 in a Valentine's Day post. And the actress confirmed her engagement in a very similar way earlier this year in a Happy New Year photo dump. Well, the actress and the model duo were dressed head to toe in custom Louis Vuitton, and Vogue magazine captured the final fitting before their wedding, where the happy couple reflected on the trajectory of their relationship. Both Chloë and Kate went the non-traditional route in their attire, with Chloë donned in a baby blue gown, gloves, and veil, okay? Kate's dress was a classic white silhouette with intricate embellishments. You can find more photos from the final wedding fitting on Chloë's Instagram. And congratulations to the happy couple, okay? We need more wedding bells. Let's go. Family, for our last story today, if anybody asks me what's bringing me joy right now, I am going to say the Studbudz. And I felt this way months ago, okay? And I still feel that way today. Now, if you're listening to this and wondering, Anna, who in the world are the Studbudz? Please allow me to introduce you, okay? The Studbudz are the best friend duo of longtime WNBA stars Courtney Williams and Natasha T. Heidemann. Earlier this year, they started a Twitch account, all right, a Twitch channel where they play video games. They talk WNBA. They conduct really informal interviews with players and depict life as two Black lesbian masked best friends. And now their friendship is being told in Vogue. That's right, Vogue. I'm sure neither one of them ever thought they would be featured in Vogue when they started this Twitch channel earlier this year. The WNBA All-Star Game took place in Indianapolis, right, a couple of months ago. And this is when their stardom truly took off. They decided to stream, okay, run a 72-hour stream from the festivities. The league supported them in doing this. It was amazing for the fans, for the players, for the league itself. We watched them order a scooter on DoorDash, dance with the WNBA commissioner, okay, to Nuck If You Buck, no less. T shooting her shot with Angel Reeves. These besties have just been pure gold, okay, since the beginning. And let me just say, representation really, truly never gets old. And seeing reflections of who you are in the world on such a big stage, and the fact that they're winning, it just continues to bring me so much joy. Now, they did run into some controversy at one point when they thought about bringing David Portnoy, the owner of Barstools, on their show, and child, every Angel Reese fan across the world, okay, they received so much backlash, but they just didn't know. And what I love is that when they heard from the fans, you know what they did? They picked up the phone. They called their friend, Angel Reese. She told them the tea. She shared how he made her feel uncomfortable. And you know what? That man has never been on their Twitch channel, period. That is who they are. I read the Vogue article, and you really get an inside view into how they became friends. The fact that they now have brand deals with Cash App, DoorDash, and Sprite. How they're boasting over 119,000 followers between them. They've been on the cover of Slam. They've thrown the first pitch at a Minnesota Twins game. Fans are rocking pink wigs to match their pink hair. And at the end of the day, the team that they're playing on is number one in the league and truly set to win the WNBA championship this year. So family, if you're not tapped into the Studbudz, I'm saying give them a chance. And if you don't have anything like the Studbudz bringing you joy right now, I'm telling you to go find it, okay? Because life is too short. We're all going through too much, and we all deserve some of this type of joy. Family, you know it's time for Anna's Got a Word, because Anna's always got a word. And my word for this week is find your people. That's my word to you. You go out and you find your people. This past week, I had the chance to attend NLGJA, which is the LGBTQ Journalists Association Conference. And I was asked to participate on a panel where we got to discuss the first ever survey of LGBTQ media outlets across the country. It was fantastic, and the data collected here in this report is so important. I want to say thank you to Dana Piccolo of News Is Out. I want to say thank you to Rick with Watermark Publishing, and a big, big thank you to Tracy Bain of Windy City Times for inviting me and having me on this panel to discuss our work here at E3 Radio and with Queer News. While sitting on the panel, we're having this great discussion about our work and how it's showing up, the lack of advertising, how we're reaching our audiences. And Dana mentions to me that I am one of very, very few Black queer women who own media outlets. And it took me by surprise because it's not something I think about. I know that that is true, but it's not something that is centered around my work. That is not my measurement of success. So it's not something I think about, right? But I also recognize that it is something to say out loud, because that lack of ownership reflects in the stories that we're told, the stories that we see reported on, and the humanity that is missing from our stories, because there's not enough of me out here in the world. And so while I was at the conference, every Black queer journalist I saw asked if they would participate with me in this social video. And I'm posting it on Monday, today, when this episode is released. And I hope that you all go to this video and that you support and follow these journalists. We need you to follow, subscribe, read, share, listen, watch, donate. And then when you enjoy their reporting and updates, you make it a reoccurring donation. That's what we need, because it is hard out here. Most, if not all, have lost a significant amount of funding. Family news deserts are real, and we're doing our part to correct that wrong by publishing our stories. And going to conferences like NLGJA allow us to find our people. And in today's environment, we should know the journalists covering our stories. We should know the journalists who are committed to providing timely, trustworthy, and high-quality journalism. And today, we have to meet you where you are. And that's usually on your phone, whether that's podcasts, carousel posts, newsletters, Substacks, shorts, reels, child. We tired, okay? Because how we were trained to do this work is just now how this work shows up today. And we also understand that there are other ways to show up and be effective. So family, never forget, please, there is no free democracy without a free press. We need journalism. We need journalists. We need the people who will keep us informed and tell our stories. We need the people dedicated to documenting this moment. So with that, I want y'all to find my video, okay? On Instagram, on TikTok, on our YouTube channel. Find it. And I want you to follow every single person I listed in the caption. And follow their work wherever it shows up. It's all quality work, so I feel very confident about saying that out loud, okay? I want us to remember to love on the journalists out here doing the work and making everybody proud, because we all we got. So find your people, okay? Till next week. Peace. If you've enjoyed what you heard, rate and review us inside your favorite podcasting app. This podcast is written and produced by me, Anna Deshawn. Podcast editing by Ryan Woodhall. And brought to you by E3 Radio and distributed on The Cube. We are Queer News Done Right.